Good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
Last lecture we have completed this point, that is helium neon laser, and of course the different characteristics of laser. So in short, I will complete it. Still students are joining. So characteristics of laser we have discussed yesterday. First is they are highly coherent, means they are in phase with each other, and because of that they are having same frequency and their coherency is high. Next, they are highly monochromatic. So monochromatic means they are having perfect single wavelength as compared to other conventional sources. Then they are having less divergence. So to diverge means to spread. So spreading of this beam is less as compared to conventional source. The reason is plane wavefront instead of getting spherical in case of conventional source. Then they are having high directionality or they are unidirectional. We can pass these signals for many kilometers because of this property. And the last one, that is they are having high intensity. So in a small portion, they gets concentrated. That's why their energy is accumulated in the small portion. And hence they are having high intensity. We can cut the metals, melt the metals. So different properties we have discussed yesterday. Then we have completed one big point related to this chapter, that is gaseous laser, which is called as helium neon laser. So it is a mixture of two gases, capital A and capital B, where we are exciting the active centers, we are getting the laser beam. So in detail we have discussed the construction, then in detail we have discussed the working, how we are getting different wavelengths, and what happens exactly at the level of energy diagram, energy band diagram, that we have discussed in detail yesterday. So today we have to complete another interesting point, that is called as holography technique. And of course the last part, that is applications of laser. So today we are completing our fourth chapter, that is laser. So we will revise it and we go for questions related to this. So before starting this one, uh, I have given the assignment questions for chapter wise, chapter number 3. Assignment questions राहिलेले आहेत का द्यायचे?
Yes, sir.
Chapter number 3 चे. Okay, so I share this with you. You take screenshot of this. Just a minute. You take screenshot of this. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
साऊंड इंजिनिअरिंग या चॅप्टर मध्ये आपण वेगवेगळे पॉइंट्स कव्हर केलेले आहेत. सो आय एम डिक्लेअरिंग दॅट आवर नेक्स्ट चॅप्टर वाईज टेस्ट इज ऑन साऊंड इंजिनिअरिंग. आपली जी युनिट टेस्ट आहे किंवा चॅप्टर वाईज टेस्ट नंबर 2 आहे, तर ती कशावर आहे? साऊंड इंजिनिअरिंगवर आहे. लक्षात ठेवा. आपण काय करतो, पहिल्या चॅप्टरवर चॅप्टर वाईज टेस्ट घेऊन पहिल्या 2 चॅप्टरवर ISC घेतो. देन नेक्स्ट 2 चॅप्टर्स we are taking chapter wise test in ISC. In this way we are completing our pattern.
Sir.
हाँ.
Sir, chapter number 3 चे MCQ चे screenshot राहिले.
Chapter number
3 चे MCQ चे screenshot राहिले.
राहिलेले आहेत. ठीक आहे. आपण लेक्चर मध्ये ते कव्हर केलेलेच आहेत. तुम्ही लेक्चर बघू शकताय. नसेल तर मी परत ते शेअर करतो. ठीक आहे. हां ठीक आहे. हां शेअर करतो मी नंतर तुम्हाला ते, किंवा असंच परत एकदा आपण वाटल्यास परत एकदा MCQ आपण रिपीट करू. ठीक आहे. Okay, so here I can read it in short. I will give the details. What are the acoustic requirements of a good auditorium? यामध्ये आपल्याला 8 requirements लिहायच्यात. Sound heard must be sufficiently loud, etc. हे याच्यात expected आहे. Explain reverberation time. तर इथे definitions आपल्याला लिहायच्यात. Reverberation म्हणजे काय आणि reverberation time म्हणजे काय. त्यानंतर define absorption coefficient and what is the unit of absorption coefficient. Absorption coefficient ची definition आणि त्याचं युनिट म्हणजे काय, ओपन विंडो युनिट किंवा सॅबिन. त्यानंतर इथं काय, तर रिव्हर्बरेशन टाइम डिफाईन करा आणि स्टेट अँड एक्सप्लेन सॅबिन्स फॉर्म्युला फॉर द रिव्हर्बरेशन टाइम. ओके, व्हॉट इज द सॅबिन्स फॉर्म्युला? कॅपिटल T इज इक्वल टू
0.165 V
yes 0.165 V divided by summation S or capital A. Then next big point, explain the factors affecting the architectural acoustics and their remedies. कुठले कुठले फॅक्टर्स आहेत जे अफेक्ट करतात अकॉस्टिक्सला, त्याच्या रेमेडीज. पिझोइलेक्ट्रिक इफेक्ट म्हणजे काय, मॅग्नेटोस्ट्रिक्शन इफेक्ट म्हणजे काय. त्यानंतर व्हॉट आर अल्ट्रासॉनिक वेव्स. अल्ट्रासॉनिक वेव्स काय असतात, त्याची रेंज आणि त्याच्या प्रॉपर्टीज, या प्रॉपर्टीज आपण डिस्कस केलेल्या आहेत. त्यानंतर डिस्क्राईब डिफरंट मेथड्स युज्ड फॉर डिटेक्शन ऑफ अल्ट्रासॉनिक्स. डिटेक्शन मेथड्स कुठल्या कुठल्या आहेत, सेन्सिटिव्ह फ्लेम मेथड, कुन्स ट्यूब मेथड, थर्मल डिटेक्टर मेथड आणि पिझोइलेक्ट्रिक मेथड. इन शॉर्ट याच्यामध्ये लिहायचे हे. राईट डाऊन ॲप्लिकेशन्स ऑफ अल्ट्रासॉनिक वेव्स, डिटेक्शन ऑफ फ्लॉज, सोनार टेक्निक, डेप्थ ऑफ सी, अल्ट्रासॉनिक सिग्नलिंग एटसेट्रा. तर हे सगळे पॉईंट्स आहेत, तर ते आपण याच्यात मेन्शन करू शकतो. तर ही तुमची असाइनमेंट नंबर 3 आहे. असाइनमेंट नंबर 3 तुम्ही कंप्लीट करा. तुमच्याजवळ स्कॅनर्ड कॉपी PDF फॉर्ममध्ये ठेवा. हे सगळं आपल्याला लास्टला रेकॉर्डला लागणार आहे. सो सिन्सिअरली कंप्लीट इट. यू राईट युअर डिटेल्स फर्स्ट, देन असाइनमेंट नंबर 3 साऊंड इंजिनिअरिंग क्वेश्चन इट्स आन्सर. इन दिस वे you have to complete this, then take you scan it, make it PDF and keep it with you. We will
सर डेट त्याची
डेट हिची आता आपण अकॉस्टिक्स कधी कंप्लीट केलंय बघा. आज तारीख आहे 27. फक्त हे 3-4 लेक्चर झालेले. 21 आणि 22 तारखेला आपण हे कंप्लीट केलेले MCQ न्यूमेरिकल्स वगैरे. So you can take 22 March, the date for assignment number 3. On Monday we have completed its MCQ and numerical discussion successfully.
सर
हां,
सर याची PPT सेंड केली.
ह्याची PPT आपण त्यावेळेस तुम्ही स्क्रीनशॉट काढून घेतलेले आहेत का?
काय काय याचे राहिलेले आहेत सर.
ठीक आहे, ठीक आहे. मग मी काय करतो, आता एक एक चॅप्टर संपला की त्याच्या PPTs प्लस ही शीट प्लस MCQ ची शीट हे सगळंच मी तिथं लिंकला अटॅच करतो. ठीक आहे.
ओके सर.
Okay, so give me 1 or 2 days. So I will attach all the details. Thanks for giving the point to me related to that. Anyways, any doubt about these questions? कुणाला डाऊट आहे का, किंवा क्वेश्चन वाचल्यावर लक्षात येत नाही की एक्झॅक्टली काय लिहायचंय किंवा कसं हँडल करायचंय? आर यू गेटिंग दिस पॉइंट्स?
येस सर.
Okay, so now we will continue our point regarding holography. So holography, we have to discuss its a principle, which principle we are following, then recording of hologram, how we are recording this hologram, then reconstruction of hologram. Means after reconstruction what we can observe through our eyes, that we have to discuss, and later thing is applications. तर आपण हे डिस्कस करूया. So holography technique means what? So in 1940s, this fellow Dennis Gabor outlined a two-step lensless imaging process. It is a new technique of photographing the objects and which is known as holography. So it is a two-step technique. Two-step means what? First is recording and second is reconstruction. Okay, so it is called as recording and reconstruction. That's why it is a That's why we are calling it as a two-step process. Okay, two-step process. याला आपण two-step process म्हणतो. Recording आणि reconstruction. Principle कायचा? Holography is a two-step process. First step is the recording of hologram, where the object is transformed into a photographic records. And the second step is the reconstruction, in which the hologram is transformed into image. First step काय? तर recording आहे, ज्याच्यामध्ये आपण ती डिटेल्स रेकॉर्ड करतो. सेकंड स्टेप काय आहे? रिकन्स्ट्रक्शन, ज्याच्यामध्ये आपण काय करतो? त्याला रिकन्स्ट्रक्ट करतो, कन्वर्टेड इनटू इमेज. ठीक आहे. तर इथं खाली तुम्ही बघू शकताय दोन फिगर्स इथं दिसत आहेत. 3D hologram तुम्ही मे बी you have seen in movie or any National Geographic or Discovery program. And on the right side, one logo is there where different colors are there. And when we tilt it, then we can get the different details. So you know this type of stickers, you have handled it. Your best example is 12th mark sheet. 12th mark sheet तुमचं बघितलंय का केअरफुली तुम्ही? तिथं वर एक लोगो आहे आपला गव्हर्नमेंटचा.
येस सर.
ठीक आहे. आणि तो जो लोगो आहे तो आपण टिल्ट केला, म्हणजे आपण जर त्याला पकडला आणि त्याला जर अँगल चेंज केला किंवा आपण स्वतःचा अँगल चेंज केला तर काय होतं तिथं? तर कलर्स चेंज होतात. ठीक आहे. आता हा एकदम सिंपल एक्झाम्पल झालं. अजून काही बेस्ट एक्झाम्पल म्हणजे तुम्ही कंपनीचे होलोग्राम्स बघितले असतील. ठीक आहे. आपण आता वेगवेगळे प्रॉडक्ट्स विकत घेतो, तर तुम्ही त्या कंपनीचे जर होलोग्राम्स बघितले तर तुमच्या लक्षात येईल केअरफुली बघितल्यावर की if we tilt it, we can get the change in color, but we can get some features, new features at that particular angle. Okay, so when we can change it, then we are getting the new details at a particular angle. Why? Because that object gets recorded at that particular angle, and holograms are unique so that no one can copy it. That's why we are using this hologram, and different applications are also there. We can store the data by recording this technique. So I want to clear one thing, that there is a difference between photography and holography. Photography, in which we are recording intensity of light, and in case of holography we are recording both intensity and phase of light. Means we are recording the interference pattern. It means all the details gets recorded in the that holographic or photographic plate, whatever we can say. So let us check it, what exactly it means, and then I will give one practical example if it is visible through camera. Okay. So first point is a recording of hologram. So I read it. A broad laser beam is divided into two beams, namely a reference beam and an object beam, by a beam splitter. So we are showing one simple figure here, where this is incident light. If you consider this is a laser source, for example, so from here we are using this incident beam. It gets reflected through mirror and through that object. इथं हा object आहे असं consider करतोय आपण. So this reflected beam through mirror is called as a reference beam, and from object whatever gets reflected or scattered back is called as object beam. तर इथं बीम स्प्लिटर म्हटलंय, तर इथे ऍक्च्युली अजून काही कॉम्प्लिकेटेड फिगर्स आहेत ज्याच्यामध्ये बीम स्प्लिट करून आपण इकडं आणि इकडं पाठवतो. सो फॉर सेक ऑफ सिम्प्लिसिटी वी हॅव शोन दिस फिगर. सो बाय बीम splitter, the reference beam goes directly to the photographic plate. So this beam we can record on the photographic plate. So this photographic plate is nothing but our hologram or holographic plate we are recording. The second beam of light is directed on the object. This beam is directed on the object. Each point of the object scatters the incident light and it travels towards the photographic plate and interferes with the reference beam. Here what happens, that scattering of from the each and every point of that object gets recorded on the photographic plate. But not only we are recording the object beam, but the combination of reference and object beam. Combination म्हणजे इथं काय होतंय, interfere, they interfere each other. काय काय interfere होतं, तर reference beam आणि object beam. त्याच्यामुळे इथं काय होतं, and produces an interference pattern on the photographic plate. This photographic plate is nothing but called as hologram. तर ही रेकॉर्डिंग टेक्निक आहे. परत एकदा मी हे रिपीट करतो. आपण काय म्हणतोय, a broad laser beam is divided into two beams, namely reference beam and an object beam. रेफरन्स आणि ऑब्जेक्ट बीम मध्ये आपण त्याला बीम स्प्लिटरनं स्प्लिट करतो. द रेफरन्स बीम गोज डायरेक्टली टू द फोटोग्राफिक प्लेट. मिरर वरून जी रेफरन्स बीम येते ती डायरेक्टली आपण फोटोग्राफिक प्लेटवर रेकॉर्ड करतोय. द सेकंड बीम ऑफ लाईट इज डायरेक्टेड ऑन द ऑब्जेक्ट. ऑब्जेक्टवर जी काही लाईट पडती ती जी स्कॅटर झालेली आहे. Each point of the object scatters the incident light and it travels towards the photographic plate. तर त्या ऑब्जेक्टचे जे जे सगळे डिटेल्स आहेत तर तिथून ती लाईट जी स्कॅटर होते ती आपण फोटोग्राफिक प्लेटवर काय करतो तर रेकॉर्ड करतोय. Each point of the object scatters the incident light and it travels towards the photographic plate and interferes with the reference beam. ती रेफरन्स बीम बरोबर इंटरफिअर होते आणि इंटरफरन्स पॅटर्न जो आहे तर तो प्रोड्यूस होतो जो आपण रेकॉर्ड करतो फोटोग्राफिक प्लेटवर. ओके, दिस फोटोग्राफिक प्लेट इज कॉल्ड एज होलोग्राम. यालाच आपण काय म्हणतो होलोग्राम, किंवा जे मगाशी मी सांगितलं तुम्हाला की वेगवेगळ्या कंपनीचे होलोग्राम किंवा मार्क लिस्टवरचा जो आहे तर तो आपण रेकॉर्ड करतो. सो इट इज अ विजिबल लाईट. हिअर वी आर युजिंग लेझर लाईट. So initially it is used, means laser light is used. Nowadays visible light or visible region also we can record it. Okay, are you getting this point? हा पहिला पॉइंट लक्षात आलाय का, रेकॉर्डिंग ऑफ होलोग्राम?
Yes, sir.
ठीक आहे.
Yes, sir.
नेक्स्ट इज नाव रिकन्स्ट्रक्शन. आता रिकन्स्ट्रक्शन मध्ये आपण काय करतोय, फक्त त्या होलोग्रामला ऑब्झर्व करतोय. इनिशियली म्हणजे 1950s मध्ये हे लेझर बीम वगैरे टाकून आपल्याला ते बघावं लागायचं. आता आपण विजिबली हे बघू शकतोय. यू कॅन इझिली वॉच दॅट इन द विजिबल लाईट. सो व्हॉट इज इट, लेट अस रीड इट. In case of reconstruction of hologram, the object can be viewed or observed by illuminating the hologram as shown in figure. So reconstruction wave means this wave we are passing through this hologram, and from left side we are observing this. So there is one small correction. This is a virtual image, not vertical image. Okay, so I have made a mistake here also. So this is a virtual image. Not vertical image. So real image and virtual image, these two things we are observing at a time. Okay, so I read it first. The reconstruction beam illuminates the hologram at the same angle as the reference beam. The hologram act as a diffraction grating and secondary waves from hologram interfere constructively in certain directions and destructively in other directions. They form a real image in front of the hologram and virtual image behind the hologram. If the observer tilts his head, new details of the object which were not noticed earlier would be observed. मगाशी आपण हे डिस्कस केले, तेच आपण आता एक्सप्लेन करतोय परत एकदा. इन केस ऑफ रिकन्स्ट्रक्शन ऑफ होलोग्राम, रिकन्स्ट्रक्शन ऑफ होलोग्राम मध्ये आपण काय करतोय, द ऑब्जेक्ट कॅन बी व्ह्यूड बाय इल्युमिनेटिंग द होलोग्राम ॲज शोन इन फिगर. हे रिकन्स्ट्रक्शन वेव्ह किंवा लेझर बीमने आपण तो होलोग्राम काय करतोय तर इल्युमिनेट करतोय आणि या साइडने त्याला आपण बघतोय. तर इथं काय होतंय बघा, कन्स्ट्रक्टिव्ह आणि डिस्ट्रक्टिव्ह इंटरफरन्स तुम्हाला माहिती, ब्राईट अँड डार्क स्पॉट्स इन द इंटरफरन्स पॅटर्न. इज इट राईट? Okay, you have studied interference in 12th, is it right? Interference.
Yes.
हा, तर त्याच्यामध्ये आपण बघितलंय की कन्स्ट्रक्टिव्ह आणि डिस्ट्रक्टिव्ह इंटरफरन्स बघतो, त्यामध्ये ब्राईट आणि डार्क स्पॉट्स असतात. तर इथे सुद्धा आपण तोच रिअल इमेज आणि व्हर्च्युअल इमेजेस मध्ये काय करतोय, डिस्कस करतोय. ओके, सो द रिकन्स्ट्रक्शन बीम इल्युमिनेट्स द होलोग्राम ॲट द सेम अँगल ॲज द रेफरन्स बीम. द होलोग्राम ऍक्ट ॲज अ डिफ्रॅक्शन ग्रेटिंग. डिफ्रॅक्शन ग्रेटिंग म्हणजे मी सांगितलं तुम्हाला की जसं आपण डिफ्रॅक्शन ग्रेटिंग मध्ये आपल्याला डिफ्रॅक्शन मिळतं, तसंच इथं झिरोथ ऑर्डरला काय दिसणार आहे आपल्याला, ते रेकॉर्ड दिसणार आहे. आपण जर आपल्याला टिल्ट केलं म्हणजे अँगल बदलला, फर्स्ट ऑर्डरला जर आपण आलो तर इथून जर ऑब्झर्व केलं तर आपल्याला ही व्हर्च्युअल इमेज दिसते, इथून ऑब्झर्व केलं तर आपल्याला रिअल इमेज दिसते. म्हणजे ह्याचा कंबाईन्ड इफेक्ट येऊन काय होतं, तर इथं आपल्याला 3D लाईक स्ट्रक्चर दिसायला लागतं. म्हणजे कन्व्हेन्शनल फोटोग्राफीमध्ये काय आहे, तर तुम्ही आधी आपण साध्या कॅमेऱ्यानं फोटो काढायचो, रील डेव्हलप करायचो, आता डिजिटली आपण घेतोय, पण आपल्याला तिथे इंटेन्सिटी आपण रेकॉर्ड करतोय तुमच्या मोबाईलमध्ये किंवा आपण जे फोटोग्राफ्स घेतोय ते. पण होलोग्राफी टेक्निकमध्ये काय होतं इथं, तर नुसती इंटेन्सिटी नाही, त्या लाईटची फेज पण रेकॉर्ड केल्यामुळं इथं आपल्याला 3D व्ह्यू दिसायला लागतो. 3D व्ह्यू म्हणजे काय, तर कंबाइन्ड इफेक्ट ऑफ रिअल अँड व्हर्च्युअल इमेज. सो वेन वी ऑब्झर्व इट, देन वी कॅन जस्ट गेट दॅट इन डेप्थ वी आर ऑब्झर्विंग दॅट पर्टिक्युलर पिक्चर. म्हणजे दिसताना ती स्क्रीन आपली 2D असणार आहे, पण पिक्चर मातला आतला आपल्याला 3D लाईक दिसतं. ठीक आहे. ह्याचं कारण काय, तर रिअल आणि व्हर्च्युअल इमेजचं रेकॉर्डिंग जे आहे तर ते आपण ॲट अ टाइम इथं बघतो आणि वेगवेगळ्या अँगल्सला आपल्याला वेगवेगळे फीचर्स दिसतात. So the hologram acts as a diffraction grating and secondary waves from hologram interfere constructively in certain directions and destructively in other directions. तर हे जे इंटरफिअर होतात constructively म्हणजे रिअल इमेज, destructively म्हणजे व्हर्च्युअल इमेज. They form real image in front of the hologram and virtual image behind the hologram. If the observer tilts his head, new details of the object which were not noticed earlier would be observed. म्हणजे आपण जर तो होलोग्राम समोर धरला, आपला जर अँगल आपण चेंज केला किंवा त्याला टिल्ट केलं, तर आपल्याला काय दिसतं, तर वेगवेगळे डिटेल्स इथं आपल्याला दिसतात. ओके. सो 1000 words and one picture we can say. So I don't know that is it visible or not to you. हे दिसतंय का पिक्चर?
Yes, sir.
ठीक आहे. आता बघा मी हे टिल्ट करतोय. आर यू गेटिंग डिफरंट फीचर्स?
3D अॅनिमेशन म्हणू शकत नाही तर.
यस. हे
3D
ऑब्झर्व
अॅनिमेशन.
हे ऑब्झर्व दिसतंय का तुम्हाला? इथं इमेज आहे, या इमेज चेंज होत आहेत. गेटिंग दिस?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So here just we are changing the angle, same plate or same picture is there. ठीक आहे. हे तुम्ही बघितलेलं ऑलरेडी, तुम्ही हँडल केलेले मला माहिती. दिस इज नॉट न्यू टू यू, but just for explanation I have used this. Getting this? So it is also this, you know, याच्यामध्ये सुद्धा तुम्ही बघू शकता की this flute is come out of that picture. Okay, so this is maybe difficult to observe. हे लक्षात येते का?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir.
ठीक आहे. हां, व्हॉट इज द क्वेश्चन? काय 3D अॅनिमेशनचं काय म्हणत होतं कोण? एनीवन इज सेइंग अबाउट 3D अॅनिमेशन?
सर ते जे पिक्चर आहे ना ते 3D मध्ये होतंय सर.
हां, येस. सो ॲक्च्युली this holography technique we are using for different applications. We are just discussing the introductory part. Lots of applications are there. We can store large number of data in a small portion. Now amazing thing of this holography technique is that if we record, I can show it for example here. If we record for example information on this holographic plate, means I can show something like this star. Okay. So if we record this star on this holographic plate and if we cut this plate, then it becomes 2. So what we expect, half portion of star here and half portion of star here. But instead of that, we are getting the same picture in both plates. Why? Because each and every pixel is recording all the details of that object. Getting this?
Yes, sir.
And that's why आपण जर साधा फोटोग्राफ कट केला आणि होलोग्राफ कट केला, then we can get the change according to this. Means we can record the 5 to 10 newspaper in a small portion of holograph, and through telescope through microscope we can observe that recording of newspaper. Okay, so this is it, that is called as holography. आपण काय डिस्कस केलं आज, तर होलोग्राफी म्हणजे काय, त्याचा प्रिन्सिपल 2 स्टेप टेक्निक आहे, रेकॉर्डिंग आणि रिकन्स्ट्रक्शन. रेकॉर्डिंग मध्ये आपण काय करतो, तर एक रेफरन्स बीम घेतो, एक ऑब्जेक्ट बीम घेतो, त्याचा इंटरफरन्स पॅटर्न या फोटोग्राफिक प्लेटवर आपण रेकॉर्ड करतो. आणि रिकन्स्ट्रक्शन मध्ये आपण काय करतो, तर लेझर सोर्सनं त्याला इल्युमिनेट करतो, किंवा आता आपण बघितलं की विजिबल लाईटचे सुद्धा आता रेकॉर्डिंग आहे, तर विजिबल लाईटला रेकॉर्ड करून आपण त्याला वेगवेगळ्या डायरेक्शननं बघितलं तर वेगवेगळे फीचर्स आपल्याला ऑब्झर्व होतात. सो वी कॅन यूज दिस टेक्निक फॉर डिफरंट ॲप्लिकेशन्स. So this is related to laser beam. That's why this point is included in this. Getting this point? What is meant by holography?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we go for our last point, that is applications of laser. So maybe you have gone through a small operation regarding lens or anything using laser technique, maybe or may not be, or you have heard about these things. So applications of laser in industry and medical field. The lasers have a wide range of applications in industry, medical fields and communications. So applications in industry, high power gas lasers, and solid state lasers are used in cutting and drilling. As I have told you that we can cut the metals, melt the metals, drill the metals by using high power laser. Then laser radiations are used to drill tiny holes in diamonds, fine wires, cut clothes in the garment industry. So maybe you have seen in Discovery or some other YouTube videos that different automobile sectors are there. Automobile industries मध्ये interior जे leather decoration असतं किंवा leather cutting असतं. So we are just designing the things, and if we give that design to that machine, robotic machine where laser radiations are there, so it is sharply cutting that leather sheet, whatever design we are interested, or in the garment industry also for cutting the clothes we can use this laser radiation. Next, focused high power laser can even produce very high temperature, which may be used to melt the metals. We can melt the metals by using high intense laser beam. In chemical industries, to initiate certain chemical reaction, we can use this laser beam. So these are industrial applications related to this. Medical or medicine applications are laser radiations are used as a surgical tool in the medical field. तर आजकाल आपण लेझर सोर्स किंवा वेगवेगळे टाईपचे लेझर्स आहेत. फॉर एक्झाम्पल एनडी-याग लेझर टाईप आहे जो आपण मेडिकल फील्डमध्ये काय करतो, तर लेन्स ऑपरेशनसाठी यूज करतो. कारण का आपल्याला माहिती आहे की लेन्स इट इज रिलेटेड टू आईज, सो इट इज व्हेरी सेन्सिटिव्ह. So we have to maintain the intensity of that laser beam such that without damaging the things, we can complete the operation successfully. So that's why we can say it as it is used as a surgical tool. Then due to high directionality and high intensity, to produce required temperature where lasers are focused, these radiations are used for spot welding of detached retina of eyeball. So related to eyes operation, that is if retina is detached, so we can just spot weld that particular area, or we can say that sharp focus operation we can complete by using laser beam. Lasers are also used for painless drilling and welding to the surface of the tooth for prevention of further decay. जर डिके प्रोसेस असेल टीथची, तर तिथं आपण तेवढा पोर्शन आहे तर तो रिमूव्ह करू शकतो किंवा तेवढा पोर्शन काढू शकतो. Laser beam is used for the performing bloodless operations. Bloodless operation means initially we are cutting a major portion of the body, and we have to utilize that blood related to that operation. So right now what we are doing, we are just cutting a small portion, inserting that laser beam, and whatever we have to do regarding that operation we are completing. So that's why it is word used, that is bloodless operation. Then laser radiations are used to prevent the unwanted growth and burning the cancer cells. So here the same thing we are discussing. For example, unwanted growth of cells are there, that cluster of cells which is we are calling it as a cancer cells. So that tumor we can directly burn. Initially we have to perform the operation, major operation, we have to cut the things, then we have to remove the things. So here we are detecting the things first, and that particular portion we are exposing with laser beam. Directly we are burning that part which is nothing but unwanted growth of cells. So these are medical applications related to laser beam. वेगवेगळे ऍप्लिकेशन्स आहेत इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये आणि मेडिकलमध्ये, तर ते आपण इथं डिस्कस केले. So this is our last point of 4th chapter. So we will revise this, and now you help me to read these terms because I have not revised the things from the first. So there are 3 terms that we have discussed. The first, absorption of radiation, spontaneous emission and stimulated emission. So who will read first point, absorption of radiation? Raise your hand, unmute yourself and read it. Take initiative when I am requesting you. So it is a platform for you. Take initiative and just read it. It is very simple. You can raise your hand, you can unmute yourself and read it directly, no problem.
Absorption of radiation.
Huh.
When a photon of energy h nu is incident an atomic system, the atom gets excited from a lower energy 1 to higher energy 2. In this process, the photon gets absorbed and the atom is said to be excited.
Okay. Then next, Shraddha, I think you have raised a hand.
Yes, sir.
You go for this second one, spontaneous emission.
The excited atom in the state E2 may returns to the lower energy state even on its own. The atom has the natural tendency to attain minimum potential energy conduction during the
Minimum
condition.
potential energy condition. Next.
During the transition, the excess energy is released as a photon of energy. HV is equal to E2 minus E1. This type of process in which photon emission occurs without any external stimulus is called as spontaneous emission as shown in the figure.
Okay, good. Then next, stimulated emission. Next student, raise your hand.
Sir, Natsu,
Yes.
stimulated emission. An atom in the excited state not wait for spontaneous emission to occur. A photon of energy h mu is equal to E2 minus E1 can induce the excited atom to make a downward transition, releasing the energy in the form of a photon. Thus, the interaction of a photon with an excited atom triggers the excited atom to droop to the lower energy state, giving up a photon by the phenomenon called stimulated emission.
Okay, so it is a drop from my side. It is a mistake, DROP. Okay, so make corrections here. Then next, who have raised a hand? I think Rutuja, you have raised a hand. You go for population inversion.
Population inversion. The process of getting a large percentage of atoms into the excited state is called as population inversion. If large number of atoms can be excited to upper energy levels, then the probability of stimulated emission becomes greater.
Okay, good. Then next now, pumping methods. Raise your hand, unmute yourself. Just read it. Simple things we are discussing. From boys. take initiative. Girls are taking initiative. You also take initiative, and I'm just asking to read it, not explain it or any difficult thing. Okay, Prajakta.
Pumping. For achieving and maintaining the condition of population inversion, we have to raise continuously the atom in the lower energy level to the upper energy level. It requires energy to be supplied to the system. The process of supplying energy, the medium to achieve state of population inversion is known as pumping.
Okay. Then who will go for metastable states? Metastable state हा पॉइंट वाचायचा आहे. Okay, so raise your hand, unmute yourself. Otherwise, I have to select someone. Okay, anyone is ready? Shreya.
Normally excited atoms have short lifetimes. It means that atoms do not stay long enough at excited state to be stimulated. Under such circumstances, population inversion cannot be established. It is necessary that the excited state has a longer lifetime so that the excited atoms are waiting at the upper energy level. A metastable state is such a state in which a single photon emission is impossible, has an unusually long time. It is the order of 10 raised to minus 3 to 10 raised to minus 6. There could be no population inversion and hence no laser action if metastable states do not exist.
Okay, good. Then next point is characteristics. Simple points now. Take initiative and complete it. Next student, raise your hand, unmute yourself and go for it. Who will read? Single point. First is coherency. That is highly coherent point you have to read. Shruti.
Characteristics of laser beam. Highly coherent. A conventional light source produces incoherent light since they emit random wavelength light wave with different phase. On the other hand, the waves emitted by a laser source will be in phase and are the same frequency. Therefore, laser beam is a highly coherent.
Okay. Next, highly monochromatic. Who will read? Shubham.
Highly monochromatic. The laser light is almost perfectly monochromatic. The light emitted by a laser is much more monochromatic than that any conventional monochromatic sources.
Okay. Then next, Vaishnavi. I think you have raised your hand. Vaishnavi.
Less divergence. Light from conventional sources spread out in the form of spherical wavefronts, and hence it is highly divergent. On the other hand, light from laser propagates in the form of plane waves. Hence, the angular divergence of a laser beam is much smaller than conventional sources.
Okay. Then high directionality. Next student who will take initiative. Akanksha.
A conventional light source emits light in all directions. On the other hand, the laser emits light only in one direction. The width of laser beam extremely narrow, and hence a laser beam can travel to long distance without spreading. They can broad to an extremely sharp focus.
Okay. Then last one, high intensity. Want to read? So lots of points are there today. So I need lots of students. Take initiative. Otherwise, I will select someone. Pradnya.
High intensity. Laser light is much more intense and brighter than that from any other conventional source. A laser emits light in the form of a narrow beam as the energy is concentrated in a very narrow region. Its intensity would be tremendously high. It can vaporize even the hardest metal.
Okay, good. Then this construction and working part. So it is a big one. We'll skip it. You can read it. Holography we can read now. So just you have to read principal. फक्त एवढा portion read करायचा आहे. Principal portion. Who will go for it? Only principal part you have to read. Raise your hand, unmute yourself and read it. Pooja.
Holography is a two-step process. First step is the recording of hologram, where the object is transformed to a photographic record, and the second step is the reconstruction, in which the hologram is transformed into the image.
Okay, then next recording, Mrunal, I think you have raised the hand.
Yes, sir. Recording of the hologram. A broad laser beam is divided into two beams, namely a reference beam and an object beam, by a beam splitter. The reference beam goes directly to the photographic plate. The second beam of light is directed on the object. Each point of the object scatters the incident light, and it travels towards the photographic plate and interferes with the reference beam and produces an interference pattern on the photographic plate. This photographic plate is called a hologram.
Okay, then next, I think Shubham, you have raised your hand. Is it right?
Yes.
Shubham, you go for this reconstruction.
In case of reconstruction of hologram, the object can be viewed by illuminating the hologram as shown in figure. The reconstruction beam illuminates the hologram at the same angle as the reference beam. The hologram acts as diffraction, the grating and secondary waves from hologram interfere constructively the certain direction and
destructively
or the other direction. They form real image in front of hologram and virtual image behind the hologram. If the observer
tilts
his hand, new details of the object which we are not noticed earlier would be observed.
Okay, good. Then next applications, त्यामध्ये industrial applications एक student read करेल, and next is medical. So 2 points are remaining now. Take initiative and read it. First, industrial applications. Who will read? Industrial applications. Shraddha. Unmute yourself and read it.
Applications in industries. High power gas lasers and solid state lasers are used in cutting, drilling, etc. Laser radiations are used to drill tiny holes in diamonds. Fine wires cut clothes in the
garment industry.
Focused high power laser can even produce very high temperature, which may be used to melt the metals. In the chemical industries, lasers can be used on wide range to initiate certain chemical reactions.
Okay. And now
Sir, खालचा पण वाचू दे का?
We will give chance to other student. Okay.
sir.
Aniket. Okay.
Application in a field of medicine. Laser radiation due to high
Directionality.
where laser are produced, this radiation are used spot welding of detected retina of eyeball. Laser are also used for painless drilling and welding to the surface of the tooth for the prevention of decay. Laser beam is used in performing bloodless operations.
Radiations are used to prevent
cancer.
Okay, good. Every student have participated. Still other students are there, so take initiative. Next time I'm expecting the things from other student to discuss. Anyway, so I request everyone to mark attendance in chat box. And I request everyone don't remain absent for any lecture. Now we are completing the points. Almost 4 chapters we have completed. So lots of things are there with you now to study regarding engineering physics. So don't remain absent. Otherwise, you are not allowed to attend the chapter wise test and ISC 2 exam. So that's why I'm requesting once again, don't remain absent. Mark your attendance in the chat box and maintain your attendance full to avoid the further actions.
Sir.
हां.
सेकंड ISC कधीपासून आहे?
सेकंड ISC ला अजून वेळ आहे, कारण का आपला आता हा 3rd चॅप्टर 4th स्टार्ट झालेला आहे, त्यामुळे त्याचे डेट्स येतील. फर्स्ट थिंग इज पहिल्यांदा आपली चॅप्टर वाईज टेस्ट होईल. आता चॅप्टर वाईज टेस्ट मे बी आपल्या फर्स्ट वीक ऑफ एप्रिल मध्ये स्टार्ट होईल. ठीक आहे. आणि त्याच्यानंतर मे बी 1 आठवडा किंवा 10 दिवसानं आपल्या ISCच्या डेट्स असतील. ठीक आहे.
ओके.
सर
हां.
स्क्रीनशॉट घ्यायचे होते.
एक मिनिट. हे लास्ट स्लाइड का प्रत्येक स्लाइड?
हाँ सर हेच.
हाँ ठीक है. Have you taken screenshot?
Yes sir.
Okay. So I am just checking the presentee. So you remain as it is. I will call the absent number. Okay, so I will take some numbers, just check whether they are present. Roll number 10. रोल नंबर 10 आहेत का? 14, 32, then 33 is present. 33 present, then 36, 38, 42, 43, then 60, roll number 60, 66. Okay, so today we conclude here. Thank you very much.